hiatus. Just been busy doing a lot of stuff. I am out here right now at Independence Lake Park. It's out in Whitmore Lake, Michigan. It is currently undergoing a redesign of sorts. It was a 30-hole course for a while. Actually, it was a long time ago. It was an 18-hole course. It then was a 30-hole course, and now it is turning into two 18-hole courses. So there's 36 holes out here. I'm playing the West course today. There are a couple different pin positions, and I have a tournament coming up on Sunday, and so probably will have already played the tournament by the time this video does come out, but I wanted to check out the new pin positions, so that's what we're here doing today. It is affectionately known as Windy Indy. There's always some sort of prevailing wind going on in here, so looking to have some fun today. All right, hope you enjoy. So this is hole one on the West course. I do believe actually the basket is in the A position. I'm not sure if you can see it out there, the orange Mach 3. A position is 394 feet, pretty decently uphill. There is a huge slope that goes off to the side there on the left. There is a slope on the right as well. So the object is to just land it on that spine. And that's going to be all the hole breakdowns I got for you. Commentary Brandon's going to take it from there. All right, so like I said, 394 feet. The object is basically to go dead straight. Usually there is the wind that I was talking about coming at us from this angle, so it makes it a very tricky shot because while you want to get it up in the air, you don't want to turn it over. So the miss is to typically hyzer out. Unfortunately, I did get that thing up in the air and turned over. My Ballista Pro just kind of like held that turn angle for a while. I found myself down the right-hand side of the slope. Extremely tricky upshot. There was absolutely no running this shot at all. All I wanted to do is get it close. As you can see, there's a lot of hard pan around the basket, so it does make it a tricky approach shot. I gave it a little bit too much gusto, but thankfully I kind of stuck, so I was leaving myself with just a little bit of tap in for the par to start off, which I'm okay with. On to hole two. It's a 351-foot hole. The object is to get something to flip to flat just past the initial gap, just past the short pad, and kind of hold yourself then into the hyzer. I threw an Opto Ballista Pro, went a little straighter than what I wanted to, so I wasn't able to get it up the hill just before the basket, which you'll see here in a second. Left myself a very tricky look. Basket you can see just over that ridge. Got a good push on it though, and I did send it home. So started off with birdie on hole two, which was a pretty lucky one, honestly. On to hole three. As you can see, the wind is definitely blowing. So this is a par 4, 789 feet. You want to head yourself out towards that tree right there in the middle of the fairway, turning a little bit right if you could, finishing just ever so slightly. I got a really nice pull on this one. Unfortunately, I didn't get the disc to kind of stay in the air as much as I had hoped, but I was in a pretty decent spot to attack for the second shot. So the basket, you can't quite see it in the frame. It is past these two trees in the middle, probably about 300 feet back. So I was looking to try to hug this left side and get it to flex. I believe I was throwing my Opto Striker here, and unfortunately I just didn't get any sort of flex out of it. So I was left myself on the right-hand side of the fairway with a pretty straightforward approach shot. I think I maybe was 180 feet away, 170 feet away. Just looking to get up and down then for the par. I got a lucky tree bounce. I don't know what I was doing because I had all that airspace and just kind of threw it towards the tree. with myself a little bit of a tester putt for the par. I've historically had really bad luck with Mach 3s, so I was very happy that that stuck. Hole 4 is going to be uphill. It's about 484 feet. It kind of goes up, and at the crest it comes back down. The basket is actually towards that big tree that you see on the left center. Throwing my Gold Line Ballista Pro. I got a great shot off of that one. I was really happy. Got some good flight out of it. The problem with this one is there is an OB pond, kind of slash bog. I found myself actually next to the drop zone. I was about maybe like 2 feet away from being out of bounds. So while I got a really good pull off of it, I did push that out of bounds really closely. But it did leave me an opportunity to run the birdie putt, or the eagle putt, birdie putt. I don't know, it's kind of a 3.5. Pretty much everyone's going to take a 3 on this hole when you play it in competition. It only takes a really bad drive or a really bad mistake on the upshot to take a 4. So walking away with a par. Hole 5, straight away, 398 feet. I know it says hole 4, but it's hole 5. 398 feet. It's downhill. I was going with my long bowman, looking to kind of get that to hyzer flip up to flat and ride, and I just put it way too low, so just kind of burned out in the middle of the fairway.
Well, enjoy the day.
Leaving myself a really long upshot. It was starting to get kind of breezy at this point, so I was going with my Cenis SP. Just wanted to kind of take a big wide shot and bring it down into the trees. I got the angle that I wanted, but unfortunately I did catch some branches and it dropped me. I was looking at probably about 37 feet. A little bit uphill. This angle actually doesn't do it justice. The basket's probably about 3 or 4 feet above me. But I saved the par, so I'm happy with that. So here on hole 6, it is a straightaway par 3, 397 feet, downhill. I was looking to use my Opto Striker for a nice flip to flat shot, which I got, but I just didn't quite get the glide out of it that I was hoping for. So I don't know if the wind kind of coming down dropped it a little bit. So I left myself a little shy. Almost got through these field goal posts basically. I was sitting at probably about 45-ish. A fairly open look at the birdie. Like I said, just didn't quite get the full flight out of it that I was hoping for. Gave it a little kiss off the right side chains though, so pretty valid bid. Looking to just clean up the par and keep moving along. Hole 7, 259 feet. There are 2 fairways. There's the left side, the right side. The right side is very difficult. I chose to go with the left side. Forehand, the VIP long bowman on a little flip to flat. Hit it perfectly. Did exactly what I wanted it to do. Left myself with this nice little, like, 15-footer or so. Take home the birdie. Very happy to get this one. For such a small, short hole, it is tricky. Hole 8, 344 feet. This one's a dead straight one, too. You can see that group of bunker trees right there in the middle of the screen. The object is to get through those. So this is a tricky shot in that it's a little bit luck-based, but you have to hit the angle to at least give yourself the shot. Going with my Opto Core here. Got a really nice flip to flat, a little bit of right ride. Split all the trees and hit the ground perfectly. Left myself with this little tap in then for a birdie. This is another one that's not really a bonus birdie, but it's tough to get just because you got to get through those trees.
OG Core, Medium Mercy.
Core and Mercy. 2 big-time staples in my bag. Hole 9, another straight shot. Kind of the theme here at Indy is hyzer flips. So I was going with an Opto Core here. or not, I'm sorry, Opto Halo, trying to get that to flip up and ride. And unfortunately, I yanked it and I was low, so didn't have the best shot. I left myself over into the tall grass. Trying to just do a nice little simple approach with my Retro Mercy. Wind was really prevalent here, and I don't know if it was the matter of the slight downslope of the green, because it becomes a very fast green, or what. But I fluffed this. I fluffed this pretty bad. Didn't quite get the Anheuser angle that I wanted. Didn't get the height that I wanted. So I'm leaving myself with this tricky straddle putt now around the pine tree with a fast green, trying to save my par. And just didn't give it everything. Hit the pole, so I was definitely on target. Oh, tap and bogey. Hole 10, 371 feet. This one's really tricky because you're getting a lot of headwind a lot of time on this hole. So I was trying to just go forehand up over the left side of those pines and try to crash it in. You can throw a turnover on this one, but it's very tricky, especially with the wind, because you have to get that angle just right. Unfortunately, I left this on a little too much hyzer and a little too much nose up. So I did push myself over onto the right side. Not really the spot I want to be. So I'm short. I've got two big pine trees in my way. And no real look at doing anything. There was, the only gap that I really liked was taking my blend slammer and just kind of putting it up over these branches on the right side of the pine tree. And I kind of flashed it a little bit. Way closer than what I expected it to be. So tap and par. No harm, no foul. Hole 11. It's 360 feet. It's a slight left to right. There is a hyzer line. You can flip something up and have it ride through the right side of those trees. I like to just go up the gut with the fairway. So Gold Line Ballista Pro. Flat, a little bit of Anheuser on it maybe. Held that turn absolutely perfectly. Had a little gallery for that one. Got some dabs on that shot. Left myself here with probably 12 to 15 foot slightly uphill putt. And get the birdie. Nice little bounce back after a bad bogey a couple holes ago. Hole 12, 336 feet. If I could show you where the gap is, you still wouldn't see it. So the basket is pretty much straight ahead, just past the mound. There's like two kind of decent gaps that you're going to try to do. You can do an Anheuser flex through the left side, or you can do a hyzer flip through the right side. I elected to try to go through the left side gap and hit a tree. So I was leaving myself with just a long approach with my Retro Mercy, which was a little low, a little off target, but it kind of got through, so I wasn't too unhappy about it. Like, leaving myself here with probably about a 20 footer or so, maybe a 22 footer for par. And I don't know what happened there, but it just kind of fell out of my hand. So what should have been a fairly routine par turned into a bogey. It is what it is. Hole 13, 453 feet, sorry. This one's just kind of a little bit of a poke and hope. The usual shot is taking something slightly overstable and putting it up over on the right-hand side and just hoping to crash through the trees. My goal is that little dark pine tree that's kind of in the center of the screen, taking my Opto Ballista Pro and trying to go over that. Unfortunately, I yanked it inside. Early release. I didn't wind up in too bad of a position, though. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a lane here, taking my Retro Mercy and just trying to put it right up there on top of the hill, which I did. So, no harm, no foul on that one. wish I could have played it a little bit better because you can get through to get a decent look at it. So just a little like 5-foot tap in for my par. Hole 14, it's 284 feet. It's a right to left. It flies over a usual out of bounds kind of marshy area. I was going with my Opto Trident here, just looking to do a nice little forehand flip up and have it ride. I didn't quite get all of it. My forehand is undergoing still a little bit of work in progress, trying to improve the form, and every once in a while my old form kind of comes into it. So unfortunately, I left myself short and right of the basket, probably about 38 or so feet away, trying to cash in on that birdie. And off right side chains again. So that's twice this round that I've been right on target for the most part, just a little bit off. But got the par, was able to move on. Hole 15, 430 feet. It's very similar to hole 12 in that there's really no true line to get through these trees. So I'm trying to just take my my Gold Line Ballista Pro and do a sharp like hyzer flip. The basket is actually more towards the left of the screen once you get through this gap. I hit the line that I wanted to. I hit the gap that I wanted to. Unfortunately, I was a little too inside, so I didn't quite get the carry that I wanted. Put this one up for a birdie opportunity and off the left side chains. But easy tap in par. Hole 16 is a very tight tunnel shot or gap shot. The basket is up the hill that you see out there in the sun, and it's up to the right. I'm taking an Opto Striker, and I'm trying to do a little flip to flat forehand to kind of ride then out into the hill. That's pretty much the best play. I have seen forehand turnover or backhand turnovers get out there. I've seen rollers get out there. It's kind of whatever you're feeling at the moment. Unfortunately, I threw a little bit nose up and a little bit high on it.
Fairway
So
hit.
caught some foliage, dropped myself down. Pretty straightforward, open approach. Going with the blend slammer here then, just to have a nice little pitch up at the basket. And I actually kind of ran it a little bit, which was pretty sweet. I thought I actually had buried it for the 2, which would have been awesome because I don't think I've taken a 2 on this hole in quite some time. Found myself stuck right there in the corner of the wall, but easy peasy, 3-easy. No harm, no foul. Moving on. Hole 17 is another left to right hole. This one is extremely difficult. This is a new pad placement, so you actually are having to push something very straight and then have it break right very late. I was trying to go with my Gold Line Fuse here, and unfortunately I just didn't quite get the turn out of it that I wanted as early, I guess, which is weird to say because I'm trying to get it to turn late. I got caught up in the left side rough. As you can see here, I really don't have much. So I'm trying to see what I got going on here. I've got a Retro Mercy in my hand. I've got my Slammer in my hand, and I've got my Cenis in my hand, and I'm trying to just... I mean, I've got nothing. I really don't. So we're going with the... I'm sorry, I had the Trident in my hand. So we're going with the Cenis. I've got one little window that I'm pretty sure if I hit, I should be close to the basket. Worst case scenario, I'm going to catch a tree and be maybe about 15 to 18 feet away. When I got out, I was pleasantly surprised that I was looking at about 12 feet or so. Very, very happy with that one. Because that was a total just, here's the gap in the trees, and we're going to go at it. Sometimes those work out, sometimes they don't. So catch myself another par. I was really hoping to birdie this one, but unfortunately not so much. Been on kind of a slow streak towards the tail end of this round, but I'm still sitting at under par, so I'll take it. Hole 18 is 365 feet, par 3. It is a big left to right. If you can get a good flex shot off, it'll work. You kind of have to really trust the angle and have something that's going to be decently overstable come out of it. I choose to go with the opto bolt. My play here is to just kind of like put it out at that little dirt mound on a hyzer flip. So when it gets out a ways, it just peels off to the right and it's just going to hold that turn. This is another spot where the wind really kind of picks up, so it becomes very tricky on trying to hit your angles because of you're coming out of all these trees and this is just a big open area.
I don't know what the wind is doing.
The first I had, I think my gold line ballista in my hand, and I was going to try to do a high flex shot, and I just wasn't feeling it. Nothing about it kind of felt right. So I know my typical play then is just with my opto bolt and just let it go and hopefully do its work and turning over and holding, which it did, but I didn't get it nearly high enough, and I threw it a little bit outside of the line that I wanted to. So I found myself way off target. I'm almost to hole 18 of the other course. So it's just kind of a wide open pitch shot. That's fine. None of this is out of bounds. When Independence was doing this redesign, they did not flag any of this stuff as out of bounds. So it's never played as out of bounds in any sort of tournament. So play it where it lies. So I got my little pitch up, jump putt there. There is a fast green. I did catch a little bit of a scuttle down the hill, which I knew was probably going to happen. I put a little bit too much air underneath my putter. I didn't go too far down though. I think I was at about maybe 18 feet or so. But caught the par, so not too bad of a finish. Parred myself out for the last few holes and walked away under par.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.